This month, August 2021, we're talking about work-life balance. And today, we're talking about going non-traditional. I'll see you in a second. Hello, I'm Dr. Rosie Kuhn. And quite often when we think of work-life harmony or balance, we think about those of us that go to work and we have a 9 to 5 job or 9 to 12 job, whatever that is, but we go to work and we work with other people and we have this sort of traditional relationship with work. And today I want to focus on those of us who are non-traditional. So a lot of people are retired, which is, in a sense, a profession in its own self. And there's people who are unemployed that it can be a chronic situation in a sense they've not worked for a very long time. It's a lifestyle element. And there's those of us who are stay-at-home parents or those who are new entrepreneurs, people that are beginning their solo career, their self-owned businesses. And we have the same issue of that work-life harmony dilemma, because for those of us at home, especially stay-at-home parents, there's never nothing to do. There's always something to do, whether it has to do with house cleaning or has to do with one of the children, picking them up, taking them to school, cleaning up, eating, feeding, cooking, laundry. There's never nothing to do. So this is a very, very challenging element of life, to be a stay-at-home parent and, like a lot of people, be a stay-at-home parent and be doing your job at home. So there's a lot of people also who work from home. And so there's this huge balance because it's always happening all at the same time. And some parents I know who they take their kids to school, then they've got this time to work, and then they go pick their children up, and they bring them home, and then they have to cook and put the children to bed, and then they have to go back to work because they want to finish what they have to do. It's exhausting. It's exhausting saying it, right? And it's what's true. So how do you, if you're one of those people, find that harmony for yourself? How do you discover and explore and be true to yourself in terms of finding that space for yourself, as well as being fully committed to your family life, your home life, and your work life? In the previous video, I spoke about David White's book, The Three Marriages, where he speaks about our vows that we take to our careers. We're married to our careers. I know so many people. I am married to my career, and I'm also married to my relationships to my special people. And I am also married to myself and my divine self. I'm married to my dog. So I have these marriages, 4 marriages counting my dog, and we have to be aware of those marriages. And quite often we are not honoring those commitments equally. And I know I think that's true for 99% of the people who are in the working world is how do they come to balance and harmonize their sense of self with those relationships? How do they devote the time that they need to those relationships of work and their children or spouses, their home, and themselves? And what's required? So one of the things I notice when I'm doing these videos is that I don't really give you any answers. I don't say, here's 5 things to try. And I don't say, hey, here's what you can do. Because the truth is I can say those things, but most likely you're not going to do that. It's something I actually wrote a blog about it. It's like, here's 5 reasons why I don't tell people what to do. Because number 1 is, generally speaking, people don't do it. What I want to do and what my intention is in doing these videos is invoking in you curiosity to say, who am I in here, and how could I do that? How could I bring about more harmony in my life? How could I bring about more peace and freedom within myself as I'm being in these multiple relationships? these multi-dimensional elements of life. How can I do that? And some people say, oh, just go and meditate for 20 minutes a day. It's like, well, that might kind of work for 20 minutes, but what about the rest of the 23 hours and 40 minutes? I was pretty good at saying that. So you get what I'm saying, is that meditation it can work, and it can be a good part. It's certainly a good part of my life to have this contemplative time, as I've spoken about before. I take an hour in the morning to sit with my coffee and sit with my spiritual readings and really engage in that for myself. And that, for me, helps support the rest of my day. Without that, it doesn't work. Now, you may need something else. You may need yoga. You may need a walk in nature with your dog. You might need just a cup of coffee with your newspaper. You know what you need to bring about that harmony and peace. And is that working for you? Is that enough for you? So again, regardless of whether you're retired or you're out of work or your employment, it has to do with taking care of your home or being a self-employed person from home. There's this balance of what's true for you in terms of meaning of life, meaning of what it does. How can you be in that place of honoring yourself in relation to what we talk about in terms of work? Now, I have to look at my notes for a second, so just hang on a second. I want to say something really important. What I want to point to is that what we tend to do is compromise some part of our life for another part. And if we can stay present to, I don't want to compromise anything, then how do we be present to ourselves so that when I'm working, I'm 100% present. And when I'm in my relationships with my family and friends, I'm 100% present. I don't have my phone going off. I don't have my notifications going off all the time. I have this time, and I make that very sacred time. And the same with myself. How do I make that time sacred? And so that I'm not compromising. Sometimes, and there's people that believe you have to compromise. But if you look at what compromise does, it creates more stress. It does. When people compromise, there's some part of them that did not get fulfilled. And what I believe is true is we can be 100% fulfilled in all of our relationships. We just have to be more honoring of our own inner truth. And when we can speak that truth and know that truth for ourselves, then each relationship takes on its own sacredness. And in that way, then we're honoring each part of our life all day long. So that's pretty much it for now. I'd love it if you would give me a thumbs up on this. And if you haven't already subscribed, that would be great. And also leave comments below, if you would, of what it is for you that creates that harmony in your life. Or what is it, or the other question is, what is it that keeps you from creating that harmony in your life? All right, I'll look forward to seeing you next time. Bye for now.